Hi guys, welcome to today's show. It's Friday night due to AANU Dami, and Dami is acting like she's wearing one jersey that will not hear what today.
I beg, I
Here for
beg.
the first time,
How else?
I don't understand some clubs, but we're all good. We're all fine. How we all doing today? Hope you're doing great. Welcome to Friday Night Gist. If you have not shared with your friend, make sure that you go share the YouTube link. We're live on YouTube right now. I believe Dami is working on logistics for Instagram, but as we always do, is another week of gist talk, sharing whatever the week looks like for you. My week has been very oh, but y'all be wondering why we are three on the screen. Yes. So tonight, we are welcoming our able co inside the guests. So is our guest or is our co-guest or is our co-host or is our co-talker or is our talkalation, whichever one. So
Oh,
today
no.
we have Mr. Tunde Olumide. He's going to be cracking us up. He's going to be talking with us. And we're going to be basically just gisting today. We're basically going to be gisting about what happened during the week. But let me start from here. We don't need to greet Dami because she didn't. Number one, Dami didn't even for 2 weeks. Dami didn't show up.
You
Dami
know what? I,
and
I wanted to. I wanted to.
Dami, wait before I that dry behind you to knock your head now. Dami did not send us a letter, so we need a letter of apology from Dami Lola.
You know what? That's
Okay.
what I wanted to even start off with. First of all, how's everyone doing? Please, I don't know how many people are here right now, but let's, as much as possible, get the link out there. Let everyone know that we're live. The reason why I've not been talking is because I'm working on Instagram as well. And I would first of all like to apologize to everyone. I was away for some personal reasons, and eventually we'll talk about it. It's one of the reasons why I sort of, brought in Tunde today because I wanted to laugh. But I wanted to apologize to everyone for not showing up for 2 weeks. I had to be away for personal reasons. And my apologies to Anu as well for being so understanding and encouraging at the same time. Um, Eventually, maybe later on, we'll talk about everything. But yeah, so sorry that for the last 2 weeks I wasn't available. But this life, balance. There was a time that I covered for Anu, and we did
No,
not hear
no,
about it.
guys. When I was leaving for the show,
No,
when I was in the labor ward burning baby, you were not there.
haba. Like there was
Yes,
one show that you didn't show up, and it was the same person that covered for us last, that covered for me last time, that covered for you.
I
Yinka.
don't know what you're talking about.
So
Blank check it.
I've never heard this before.
Oh,
eh,
blank.
This is
eh,
blackmail. Can you see what I deal with? And we call ourselves Christian children of God, for that matter.
is you that did not forgive
Oh, Holy
transgression.
Ghost,
It's
guys,
all, it's all love,
this is
eh?
what I deal with. People that don't pick up your calls, they will sleep. They will. Let's not start. Don't even put a dirty linen in. A linen is very dirty. I can't even undo to put it in public. But let's just put that aside. So, Mr. Sunday, tell us, how has your week been? What have you been up to?
Man, my week has been great actually, man. I can't complain. Just
That-
just taking life as it goes, man. That was just it. Monday, Tuesday, same thing till Friday, and not set too much expectation that I can handle. That's the thing I've learned about life. Just take life as it goes. So
You said.
this life, no balance, no pure. So I'll just enjoy it to the fullest, and anything I can't control, I can't let it stress my life.
Oh
My week has been wonderful. I can't complain at all.
So how was your thought process during the NSAS? And I know that this is something that people are still dealing with personally, just because a lot of people lost loved ones, right? How was your thought process during that season?
Man, I was pissed. I was mad. I was frustrated. I got to some point. I was like, you know what? I'm done, man. Like, what kind of life is this? Funny enough, actually, I called my dad because I was ranting to him. I was like, dude, man, can you see what your boy is doing? Because he's not a politician, but he's quote unquote partially and does this once in a while. So I was like, can you see what your boy is doing, Tinubu? Like, what kind of a useless country is this where they'll be killing the youth and everything? And I'm following up. My dad said this. My dad was like, So my dad added a little film to my anger. So I was hoping that I was going to at least calm me down a little bit. And boy was unable to understand where the origin of the protest was coming from. Because usually when all these kind of protests are happening, I usually don't partake. I'm like, at the end of the day, what will this amount to? It's still same old, we'll complain, nothing will happen. So
Yeah.
I did my own personal research. I went online and did some digging to see, okay, what's the reason, who are the people behind this stuff and everything.
Yeah.
So for fun, I was able to see some people like Mo, FK, like the feminist group and everything like them.
Yeah.
These are actually bunch of people. These are a bunch of people that are actually doing well for themselves. They don't need to do any protest.
Nope.
It won't affect their lives.
Nope.
And I'm like, this is interesting. These well-to-do people actually care about the country. They made I don't have anything. I even deserve. I even deserve to even put the word out there. I deserve to know and to spread the word as much as I can. And the little I can, I go online, spread as much news as I can. And that just got me to appreciate Nigerian youth the more. The fact that we have been given nothing to work with, and we still keep excelling in every area that we are. Government don't care. Some parents don't still care. They expect that not. You should figure life out. And still on that, the government is doing everything they can to bring us down. So that was the eye opener for me to appreciate the opportunity that I have to be here. So before we take this for granted, I always say that, what's Canada? Should be I pay to be here. I pay the tuition. But at the end of the day, you pay the tuition, they can send you back anytime. They still give you the
Yeah.
opportunity to be here. Fair enough, there are some hiccups here and there, but thinking about what people are going through back home, the least I can do is to appreciate where I am at right now. So that was really helpful for me to just appreciate life.
That's amazing. And hope you're keeping safe in your city. How's the stats like?
Oh well, for with regards to NSAS or the pandemic.
No, like the pandemic.
Man, my sister, I was one of those ignorant people that said, "Body no be firewood." You say blood of Jesus go cover everything. So my sister is a nurse, so she enlightened me. She like, dude, don't be stupid. You went to school, go and do your research before you start saying you don't need to wear mask, you don't need to sanitize your hand and all this stuff. So I did my research, and funny enough, I went to church one Sunday, and they sent an email that one of my nieces, whatever it is, was in contact with someone that had COVID in her class and stuff like that. And I
And
live
you
with my
freaked out.
and I live with my sister, and my sister's like, well, we all have to be in quarantine for 2 weeks. So that was just an eye opener. I did some research and I went online. I saw some lady that was just ranting to ignore people like me that don't take this thing for granted. She's been fine all her life, and this COVID-19, this COVID-19 thing again messed her up. She was in the hospital actually taking videos. She was like,
Wow.
there's some machine on her body and everything. That just gave me an awakening to actually do a research. But oftentimes we ignore things we don't know anything about. So educating yourself is key. So I went on and I did my research on the stuff, and that just changed my perspective of things. And I started taking it serious. At the end of the day, hey, health is wealth. If you're not in a place where you go, spend money. So
Yep.
that's so.
And I like that sometimes you just have to unlearn a lot of things that we feel we've known before. In which a lot of people don't do that. They just feel like it's just this thing. Let's just leave it. Oh, it's COVID or it's whatever it is, right? So it's good that you were able to unlearn. I think for me, so I know someone had already responded when I said how was your week? Awesome. For me, it was just a very busy. The last 2 weeks I've been very, very busy for. Personally, it has been very busy, but I always like to make sure that I think that means back. Okay. I always like to make sure that I kind of package the freezer a month before, just because in that month I just want to chill and finish all my plans. So
Oh,
yesterday I did a lot of cooking, and today I was
I
not
know.
out, so I was just in bed.
Are you live on Instagram?
Yes. Do you want me off
Okay.
live?
Oh, I was live and I was trying to add you, so
Oh, okay.
I'll add you.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you can add me. Let me go off live then.
Because people won't be able to hear because of my setup.
Oh my Jesus. People will
Uh,
not be able to what? Sorry.
Sorry, I said people will not be able to hear me. Like there'll be echo.
Okay,
So
so
that's
let me go off and come back. Okay.
all right. Sorry for the break in transmission. So Tunde, I was hearing your COVID-19 gist. We have so much to catch up on. Oh. Like I have,
Man, if we start to talk, we won't finish. So we just have to summarize. We'll continue after we leave the air.
there's so many things on the docket today. So hi guys, hi everyone. Thank you for joining in. Please share the link if you'd like to connect, if you'd like to gist and talk. We're on YouTube. It's more engaging right there. Yeah, for those of you on Instagram, so feel free to join. We're talking about how 2020 is going. You know, we're coming to the end of the year and we just want to know how 2020 is going. So please do us a favor, share, bring everyone in. Let's talk, let's just, we're just checking up on each other. And today we have Tunde Olumide. Now, Tunde is one of the people that I think can, if he decides to be wicked to me, I'm finished. He's one of my best friends. We've had ups, downs. He's one of those people that has saved me from from trouble a couple of times, from horrible relationships. Long story. That's another conversation for another day. But you know, he's an all-round guy. He's top notch and he's very, very funny. So for some of you that were at Live It Loud or have seen him in different capacities, you know that Tunde is, for some reason, Tunde always finds a reason to laugh at everything. He's just one of those jovial people that you can't tight the world to your chest. You know, at the end of the day, all will be well. And so he always has that that stand-up attitude. So we're glad to have Tunde right here, and we're just so in case you want to see what's going on, we're on YouTube. The link is in my bio and Anu's bio. And yeah, so we have Tunde Olumide, and we're just going to talk about 2020. This is all bants. So Tunde, first of all, I think Anu already started off. How is 2020 going for you?
Man, apart from the COVID-19 and the pandemic, COVID-19 and the NSARS issue, 2020 has been my best yet thus far.
Hallelujah.
I'll be honest.
Okay, what are you doing?
Like, I did an assessment of myself in 2020 February. 2 years before then, 2019 December, I did a pre-assessment of myself. So jumping now to November, I came to realization that before then, prior to that, all my years in Canada, I've been taking life as it goes. Not planning and all those stuff, just enjoying, just living life like nothing is happening. So I came to a stop to take charge of, or to take ownership of me, of who I am. So that helped me a lot coming to 2020, and that shaped me to be a better person than I was all the years of my life. So oftentimes people say, "Oh, I want to be successful." Okay, why do you want to be successful? And me, the reason why I keep telling myself what keeps me going every day is my own definition of success is me being better than the way I was yesterday. So that's why I say, if people say, "Oh, I was your 22," I'm like, it's better, it's great, I can't complain, I'm at peace. One thing I always tell people is, if I'm not at peace, then there's a problem somewhere. So as long as I'm at peace, I'm successful, I'm happy, and that's the reason why I'm saying 2020 has been great for me. Career-wise, things are wonderful. Like relationship with God, great. Relationship with friends and family, great. I decided to take ownership of every aspect of my life, because if you can't control it, if you can't control those aspects of your life, then you have issues. So that's the reason why I say 2020 is great. Things are awful, but I don't look at those awful things. I look at things that will be better. Because whether we like it or not, there's always going to be downtimes. Are you going to let the downtimes bring you down, or are you going to look for a motivating factor to bring you up? And that's just it.
Thank you today. Just to let everyone, because your people are shouting my president. Sorry, if you're on Instagram, I'm waiting for Anu to connect, and so you might not be hearing quality sound. Usually the sound comes from her, so you can join us on YouTube directly, and we can get the conversation going right there. So please join us on YouTube as we talk, and we're going to be talking about different things. And once those things come up, if you would even like to add to it, feel free. Anyways, Tunde, over to you. I think I should just wait till Anu is ready. Tunde, over to you.
Sorry, my landlady is doing some work.
No, no, voila.
Okay, when you're ready, just send me a request on Instagram. Anyways, so let's start with March of this year because I feel like that's when things started to sort of
Chicken.
change. Um, how I know you spoke on COVID-19 earlier, but for those people that are just joining us, how have you been able to cope with that? Like,
Ah,
what was the initial thought process first of all when it happened?
when, funny enough, when that thing first happened, I wasn't feeling it much because I was in a warehouse somewhere in Regina, locked
Mhm.
up. And in my mind, I was like, oh, things are just Balenciaga, nothing they happen, everything was soft, everything was soft. So one day my boss told me, oh, Joseph, pack your load. You're leaving the hotel and you're going to the camp. And I'm like, what's happening? He said everything has to be locked down. Nobody's leaving the hotel, nothing. I said, what's happening here now? So, so I did go to the camp. I got locked up. I was there for like 4 months or 3 months. And one day I was like, okay, he said, oh, go to the hotel, go and grab more clothes. And I was in his truck and we're driving, and everywhere was dead. I'm like, I thought it was a joke. I'm like, dude, what's happening? Where's everywhere? I drove past the casino, no cars in the casino. There were basically 5 cars on the highway, on the road. I'm like, what's happening? It's like, I think this is a joke. Everywhere is locked down, nothing is moving. I said, what? I'm like, now wow. I'm like, okay, no, voila. Either ways, I've been on lockdown for the longest time. It's not like I've been seeing anybody. So it's none of my biz. Then they now started bringing laws. Oh, God, there were gloves. You must wear mask. I'm like, I said, I hear you. I said, we done now. It's work. I came to work. I didn't come and dress like masquerade though. Then they said it's mandatory. We have to. Then I started doing all those things. Then it started affecting me financially. They say, Baba, the strike way that's going on based on COVID, this thing might end soon. Oh. I said, yeah. Oh, wow. Jailu, come and involve yourself. Oh. Then that's how I started entering personally. Then I'm like, okay, it looks like this is worse than I thought. Then I started looking for ways and things to do to educate myself regarding that, and also to look for things I can do financially that will help me look going forward. Because I know if the strike should end, I'll be
Where
jobless.
was the attention? That financially was strong.
Yeah, no, no, that was Coco.
Oh my
Pepe must rest. Bills has to be paid. So it's like, so those are things that I started focusing on deeply because after that March, I had 1 month saving grace at the job, 1 full month. So we're still contemplating. They say, oh, we might be here to December, you might not. So it's tentative. So once sudden they just say, pack your load, you shut it on, it's time to go home. So all those while I was working, I've been preparing myself for things like that because the kind of job I was doing, they can call you. You might start right now, they'll call you that, oh, job is done. So it's something that I prepared
So it
myself
was
for.
contractual. It was by
Yeah,
contract.
it was by contract, yes. So luckily it went for 7 months, which was not what we planned for. We planned for something less than that. But along the road, we thought it was going to go longer than 7 months or even more than 1 year. Then COVID came and hit everybody hard. So it just hit me, and I packed my load and I just went home. And I went home and it just a wake up. That was just COVID-19 was actually a wake up call for me personally. I don't know about other people. It made me realize how much I have to offer to myself, not to anybody else. So I just use that as a learning channel to appreciate me for me, to appreciate life for what it is. And that was wonderful. Like, I don't know about anything minus the death and everything. And COVID helped me well. So I'll hear my mind.
You see, this is the thing I love about Tunde because Tunde always looks at the positive side. He will always find the good thing out of all of this. I know that in the middle of everything changing, you also moved. Moved to a different city. How was that transition process? What was that like? Because now, no, like some of us don't even know where you are.
That location is anonymous.
You like it's in Ibadan because
Yeah,
this kind of
right now,
culture way is in
my
Ibadan.
location can say New York. Well, man, funny enough, I finished the job. And I went home one day. And as I went home, I just lied down. I was just lying down. The next day, I started packing my bag. And I just told my roommates a week after, I'm like, oh, so yeah, I'm moving on. They said to me, I said, don't worry, I'm just moving. They thought I was joking.
What?
What do you mean, what?
You didn't know where you were going to?
I knew I was going. I knew everything was planned. But
Okay.
when I was moving, nobody knew that. Even me, I didn't know that. But I just woke up one day and I made a conscious decision because I've been in Saskatoon for 14 years. And I was like, no, okay, let me just do it. Let me do an analysis of my 14 years in Saskatoon. What are my do's, what are my don'ts? What have I gained? What have I lost? And then let me see. I'm like, okay, so what's still being here? What have the experience I've gained going forward? And I did all the analysis and everything. I'm like, you know what, I love Saskatoon. Saskatoon will forever be my baby, will forever be home. But I'm like, okay, and if I look at my life before and after and going forward, what do I see myself? Where do I see myself in the next year or two in Saskatoon? And I weighed my cost and benefits. I weighed the analysis. I'm like, no, let me just, because oftentimes I get comfortable with things. And there was a book I was reading once. I said the enemy of man is comfort zone. So I'm like, okay, no, it's okay. Let me look at all my friends. I did a list. I'm like, okay, 9 out of my friends, my close friends, are out of Saskatoon. Okay, and I'm okay. What am I doing? I don't have a job. Okay, right now I have a business I'm planning to do. Have I started? No. Okay. Do I have plans? Yes, I do have plans. Then what am I doing? What am I doing in Saskatoon? I said, okay, technically nothing. I just enjoy being in Saskatoon. I love the city. I like the scenario. I like the environment. I'm like, okay, outside of that, what else? Nothing. And I just got pissed off. Started packing my little one pillow. I threw pillow away. I tried throwing things. I was making so I threw my pillow away like that. Started packing my shoes. I don't want to see the shoes. I packed everything, the clothes. And the next that day was a Monday. The Friday, I called on my friend, please, I'm renting a car. Let's drive down to somewhere. I was like, wait, I'm like, okay, let's drive down, packing my load. I did my first bash and the second. At the moment I did that first bash, my 50% of me is already out of Saskatoon. So the reality came in that okay, no, this is actually time to actually look forward to the next chapter. Because funny enough, I have friends that in Calgary, everything they've been calling me, telling me, guy, 5 years ago said, I leave that Saskatoon. There's nothing there. That place is killing your vibe. I'm like, guys, you guys don't understand, man. This place is where the party is at. My people are here. If you're not in Saskatoon, you're not anywhere. So it's like, it was just funny. Then that one day, I just eventually packed on my load. I made a phone call to one of my siblings, my dude, I'm coming now. She's like, guy, come, please come. We're happy to have you. We beg you to come since. And that's how I just escaped from Saskatoon. And yeah, right now I'm happy. I've never been happier in my life right now. So Saskatoon was lovely, but where I am is better. Yeah, for me as a person. Yeah.
I think that is because I was one of the people that really wanted you to leave Saskatoon. I thought you had been there for so long. It's
So
not like
long.
Saskatoon. It's not like Saskatoon is a bad place, but sometimes just having a different scenery, having a different environment helps change. Just helps with resetting where you need to go, because sometimes I feel like for me too, I left Saskatoon because I felt like um I was a bit stuck and I needed to sort of step out of that zone, right? So I do get what you're saying, and I think that it's good. But the bad thing about it is that in the middle, you did that in the middle of COVID, so you don't have new friends in your city, or do you have new friends? Have you started
The
socializing? Have you
funny thing is, I don't even want new friends. I was talking to Folabi. I've gotten to a stage in my life where I'm like, no new friends. Any friend that I'm getting right now, no offense, that friend they'll be doing overtime and OT to actually get my attention. Because I'm in a place right now, like it's just my vision, my purpose, and the people that I've known. If I've not known you for the past 5, 10 years, like where am I going to start from? I feel like where would we start from? Because even the ones I have gone
don't
to
say that too.
no. To keep up with the ones I have is even hard enough. But don't get me wrong. If I meet, I won't go outside of my way. Maybe it's because of the stage I'm in right now in my life. I'm still trying to figure my own life out. That's the way I
Mm.
see it. So in the process of trying
I
to
think
figure
you
my life,
just need the right connections that will become friends, or the right friends that will bring the right
hmm,
connections. Because at the end of the day, no man is an island, but at the same time, sometimes when you have the same circle of people, you tend to stay within your comfort zone for a very long time and you feel like everything is good. For me, it was a bit tough, like leaving Nigeria. Everybody I've known, even till now, some I still got a message from someone today saying, hello sister, I know I have actually been sending you an invitation to come, and I'm like, bro, this is
Hey.
how many years after you get. So it's not, we're not saying that having new people in our lives isn't good. I think that it's just that God should just send the right set of people
hmm,
to come into our lives, and we also be the right set of
conscious
friends
effort.
with them, so that we also rub minds and stuff like that.
Oh, and
We
perfect.
have
And of course,
wow. Wow.
sorry, we have
Okay.
what?
Sorry, we have a lot of comments online. Sunday, you are gaining weight. So, the enemy of a man is his comfort zone. Very true. And Tunde, you don't want new friends.
Okay, so next, I wanted us to talk about back to the COVID-19. So we've heard that there's now a vaccine for COVID-19. Now, I want to talk about this because if the vaccines come, because in Canada they're saying that it might come as early as December. But right now, what it looks like is January, sometime in January. So I wanted to know, would you be taking the COVID-19 vaccines? What are your reasons? If you would, please share.
Emiolo, I won't take. I'm a very, very traditional.
Except if it's that they won't give you money if you don't. That's how I feel, because the flu shot, some people don't take it. I've never taken it before,
Same here.
and it's not because I'm against the flu shot, but I just feel like year in year out, once I don't know. I feel like it's only if it's mandatory, like how they want us to wear masks.
Mask, yes.
If not, personally, because I'm not even going anywhere. I don't have any contact with you, so you stay now. Maybe Mr. Tunde, we collect small.
I am with. I know you can add me to that your list. I'm with you on that one. But just even normal flu gun shot, I don't take. I don't even take drugs. Vaccine, my logba. Even me COVID, kilo come. It's none of my business.
No, but how can you say that? Like, why would you say that?
Okay, tell me this.
Don't you wait? Let me talk. Look at your hand. Is it our left hand or our right hand? We collected vaccines, BCG when we were kids. We collected different.
I also collect Sigbere for gunshots. I don't use Sigbere.
Sunday, but do you know that even back to what Dami just said? Do you know that there's some parents who don't believe in these vaccines? Because so you're supposed to give your baby 2 months, 4 months, 6 months, like that. And I knew parents that said that they didn't believe in the polio vaccine, the hepatitis B vaccine, and all those things. And for me, it was not a matter of, this thing will change my baby's life. It's that this thing will protect my baby. All right. So for me, that's why I said that if it's mandatory, if it's something that I feel like it's important, we have to get it.
I'll get it.
Me personally, I will go get the vaccine. But if it's something that's not mandatory and they don't feel, because I know that a lot of jobs will actually have you go and take it before they can get you into it, because they don't want wahala. People have lost jobs. I've seen grown men cry on TV just because they've lost thousands and thousands and millions of dollars based on this COVID-19 saga. So I don't know. It is what it is.
To be honest, the reason why I would not take it, right, is because everybody that knows me here knows that DAMI an injection, DAMI my threshold for pain. So it's the process of even getting it that is a problem for me. But some people have, because some people are saying that you have to let the doves go out first. So first of all, let plenty of people test it. They've said that there's a 90%. The first one,
yeah.
They said there's a 90%.
Me saying that some airlines won't board you unless you're vaccinated.
Wow.
Someone said Tunde will always be the same.
Bolaji knows me too well.
Oh my god.
So because according to there are 2 vaccines, right? Moderna and I've forgotten the other one and both of them, the errors are it's 90% correct. And those tested, those are the percentage, 90% and 95. So it means that for every 10 person, 1 in every 10 person, it will not work for. Do you understand what I mean? And so when you think about it, so that 10 people gather here, 10 of us take it. The chances of it being one of us that it doesn't not work for. So so some people are saying that we should let the doves, just let people. Some people are saying that as Black people, they use us a lot of times as guinea pigs to test all these vaccines. That maybe it's about time we just take a back seat and see what happens.
I amen to that.
and see what happens over a period of time. Like let's like maybe wait 6 months and see what happens and then go and take it. But what's so interesting to me is that um as I was thinking about this, to talk about this today was the fact that this is also how conspiracy theory starts because we have our reservations as to why we don't want to take the vaccine of that's how maybe this is the time that they're doing 666.
Yeah, they put it in your hand or something.
They put chips in your hand and then like let's just with in which first of all that rubbish is BS. They're not going to the devil needs your consent to give you 666. So he's not going to use dubious method and say like I mean he will use he's a dubious person, but
And that's
it doesn't
even
work that
after
way.
the Antichrist. Like that's even after the what they call it, the trumpet sound. So
Yeah.
let's be coming down. Let's get
Yeah.
knowledge,
So
Christians.
please it's not about that, but it's the fact that I think as black people, we're also scarred from our experiences with certain things. So with the healthcare, with I know our own experiences are a bit different as Africans, compared to African Canadians or African Americans, because a lot of times we are the ones that are usually the guinea pig. So everyone already has that. Okay, they say 90%. It will not just happen that out of how many are we? How many black are we? It would not happen that 1%, that 10%, would you just say that it's black community, minority communities that it's affecting. So that's like one of the issues with you know one of the reasons that I feel like okay, maybe we should wait. As you guys rightly said, I have never taken a flu vaccine. I can't volunteer myself for injection. I like usually injection that I've taken.
Because your
I
mother
have
was not a nurse.
do you know how many times they beat me in the hospital? Like I can't volunteer myself for injection for
That,
get
that's
it.
that's that's actually part of my reason. Growing up,
It's because your
even
mother was not a nurse. You didn't want to go to the hospital.
like
Inside the house.
I can
Chloroquine injection.
I
Did you hear
can
that?
cry for days for injection,
Hey,
and every
Jesus.
time I cough,
Please, let's not even
five
go there.
injections come to my bum bum. So growing up, all the injections I've taken, I've made a vow that I'll never in my life take any more injection again. As long as I have the choice to say no, more bamo. So it's like I'm taking enough injection for me and my generations to come. No, vaccine will be okay on its own. Holy Spirit will be my vaccine. Oh, okay. No, please.
But,
I beg you.
but then again, both of you raised something that was also very important with the fact that then it now affects your ability to socialize because I mean I know you're a mom. You're going to find that uh, to go to school or for your kids to be in school,
Can we
they
homeschool?
will they have to be vaccinated. And you know what? There are anti-vaxxers, right? That are
Yeah,
just like,
there is a community like that.
Wow.
Yeah.
yeah, there's a community that's against vaccinations and all that kind of stuff. And they have issues because when it's time for their children to get into schools, there's a problem because they require them
To be vaccinated.
to be
Yeah.
vaccinated. So now you're not talking about social issues. You can't travel. People will not tell you that okay, you can't travel except you show.
But it is well with your soul in Jesus' name.
For people that don't know what agbo is, we keep forgetting that we have different people.
Herbs,
It's African herbs
Herb is herb.
herbs, concussions.
Well, I love
that
double
someone
idea.
just makes in their kitchen or somewhere, but
My
it's
tummy hurts.
local herbs. Anyways, so yeah, so that's the problem is that when you now have to start socializing, when work, because it's going to be like almost drug test. Okay, I won't say drug testing because not all drugs ask you for that, but submit we need your
Wow.
But
to
damn, with the COVID-19 cases, with the way things
Skyrocket.
skyrocketed, with the way businesses shut down,
Mm.
you
It's
probably might
needed.
even need a certificate to get into a wedding. Because
Jesus.
now, before they opened, no, but look at it. So the only people that and that was why the MD, the chief medical director for Alberta, she had to say that they had not seen any contact trace from churches linked to churches, even
Families.
though there are some churches that flouted the whole thing. or they've not seen any like contact tracing from churches, they've not seen from salons, but they still want to like put all the safeguards churches are put in place and stuff like that. But event centers, your reception now, there's no longer reception. Your church, you can have more than 10 people. So if you break it down now, before you enter place, actually here in the westernized, because in Nigeria there's everybody is still doing
They're still doing party.
I called my dad the other day. I told him about me. DJ kan kọrin kan tí mo jó sísìn. Mo ní, I'm like,
in
a lot of
Nigeria,
COVID in Nigeria. He said that's white man disease.
So at the end of the day, it still boils down to like you will probably might to get either way, because a lot of people out there, they've lost a lot of opportunities, a lot of jobs, their business have closed down. For you to now bring the thing back to their place of work, nah, like it won't work. So I feel like if it's mandatory, and for someone like you said, like for someone like me that has a baby, I have to make sure that whatever it is that has to keep her safe is what is more important than whatever I have in my head. And at the end of the day, it's God that will still protect us, you know.
Man, honestly,
like was saying on Sunday that there was a woman that isolated herself for 4 months, and still COVID came to meet her inside the house.
Oh, yeah. I
was looking at it that
spiritual warfare.
Some things are just what it is, right? God still has to keep protecting each and every one of us at the end of the day.
Yeah, and it's about we have to also play our own part, right? So that's just key. So don't get me wrong, that maybe if I really, really need to take the vaccine, Magba. But if I don't really need to, I'll pass.
I'm even telling people I can't. I have to see that there's an absolute like need for it, and again, I will wait. Probably not taking the vaccine until June 2021. When we're sure that
everybody is okay, everybody is all right.
Everyone is okay, everyone is all right. All the 5G things that you're saying, the connection of
let's not do that.
Nothing happened. Nothing.
Dami, I think there should be a law that should be passed that as a Christian, the onus lies on you that before you share any information via WhatsApp group, see, we need to use our sense to be very sincere. And you know, one thing I always tell most people, before you send it, verify. Verify first. Now, the only part of the things that made the NSAS movement swindle down was lack of information. People were just spreading things. They showed one girl on top of a car, right? And she was doing like this. And they said, look at this girl. She lost 4 brothers to SARS. Ibukwa Washika had to come out and say, I actually spoke to this girl. Nothing's wrong with her. She didn't lose any brother. So before you press that share, before you copy and paste on that group, make sure that it is from the right source. Even here, the only information I will get is from Canada.ca or see this, whatever it is, the government authorized websites. So please, before you share, dear WhatsApp evangelists.
The problem is, as long as fake news keeps selling, that is something we can't control, man. Like, it's a sad world we live in. People love fake news.
You know what? Let's Can you guys hear me?
Don't tell me. Oh man, that was a good one, Tommy, man. Oh my goodness. You guys are killing me live, man.
Nigeria.
But Tommy, how do we know that it's not placebo they're even giving them? How do we like? Okay, so let's sort of move to the next thing. You know, as you brought it up, social media in 2020 was a big deal. Like, was a huge deal. Played a huge part in everything that went out on this year. I think for the first time, I realized the importance of social media. I've always been on social media. Social media is my office, as I always say, but it just made me see the good and the bad. One of the reasons I cannot be on Twitter is that Twitter is necessary sense.
Twitter is
Wild West.
Twitter
It
is
is true.
bad,
Like
man. Please get on
you
Twitter.
have
Like, get back.
no, like I'm there, but I realize that it can be toxic too. Like Twitter is the most toxic social media. It is the fastest way to get news,
Yes.
but it can be dangerous as well because you're consuming so many things at the same time,
Information.
and people are, I don't know how people are even quick to tweet that fast. But yeah,
It's
let's talk
just
about social media.
it's just one button. You know how before you can repost on Instagram or Facebook, you have to use like a repost app, you have to use regram, then you go and copy and paste. No, it's just one button, retweets.
Mm.
That's all. So whether it is correct or not, whether it's fake news or not, whether it's whatnot, you
So
can
advice.
see that behind that one person's tweet, there are 3,400 people that have retweeted it. You
Mm.
just feel like it's licensed to allow that whatever to spread.
It verifies that information. Some
Yeah.
people think it verifies the information. Tunde, I know you've been active on social media. You were active for NSAS. You were active for US elections. You were active. It's so funny that people don't realize how active you are on social media.
Okay, so somebody is saying that Instagram is very toxic for her. It's based on who you are and how you use
Yep.
it.
Tell
Like
me,
for me,
I'm with you on that.
yeah, because for me personally, I only use to judge myself and like retweeting me some ADME or people that I know that I connect with them and not necessarily like all this kind of news that doesn't make sense, right? On the other hand, when I go offline, I
Mm.
feel like I'm always more relaxed when I'm off Instagram just because it's a lot of work. You have to have stats, you have to make sure the numbers are growing, you have to like there's so many things, and that's why funny enough, I was watching my video last year and I was telling myself that I want to make sure that I've built in the next 1 year for my show, I build a larger platform outside Instagram so that I could do stuff. And I'm grateful that I was able to do that. But yeah, like for instance, I think it depends on how you use it. Yes, Twitter is toxic, but Instagram can be very, very toxic in comparison, and you forget yourself in it.
And that's the thing. Like me,
So,
I prefer Instagram. I'm an Instagram person. I love Instagram, but I
preference.
also understand
Preference.
how toxic Instagram can be because Instagram,
Mhm.
I mean, people, if you don't know how to filter stuff in Instagram, you can get lost in a lot of things. Because with
Yep.
Twitter, you're seeing someone write stuff. With Instagram, you're seeing an image. You're someone writing, I have a Range Rover. Then someone actually showing you, I'm driving a Range Rover. Like those are two different things because all of a sudden, so those pressures setting. And as much as we like to form like hard guy, see,
Oh no.
I was telling IT a couple of days ago that I'm not someone that would be jealous of certain things. I'm like there's some things that I don't care for. But all of a sudden, I found myself that I was now envious of somebody else. So I needed to call myself to this. Was like, is this me? Tommy brought up LinkedIn. LinkedIn is even worse because I feel like LinkedIn, everybody is singing
Like
their
you're seeing
praises.
all your friends adding stats, adding things to their names, and you're trying to create a brand. And you're like, thank you, Jesus. Congratulations.
For
Congratulations.
for for me with social media is I see social media as a marketplace that we all take our our goods and services that we want to showcase for people to see, and we leave the dirt at home.
Mm.
Oftentimes, the goods and services that people are trying to sell is not the real product; it's the fake product. While some people actually carry the real product, but the real products oftentimes get overshadowed by the fake product. So when me I'm on social media, I've made a conscious effort, which is even my own life policy. Even if it's $1 or $2 I have in my account, I'm gonna spend that $1 or $2 like it's 10 million. I will enjoy
But,
my
is,
life.
but isn't that faking it to make it? Why can't you just tell us
No,
that you
no,
have?
no. That mean this is what I'm saying. No, this is what I'm saying. I'm saying in the context of me being content.
Okay.
Content with what I have. It's not saying I have $1. I want to show that I have 1 million. No, what I have is what I have. I owe nobody nothing of showing any of my asset or what I have on Instagram. Whatever I show is what I have. If I don't show it, it means I don't get them. And if you show, I'll be happy for you. Same thing. But oftentimes I try myself to filter what I see. every month or every week, I do a check on my followers or people I'm following. If you're not in alignment with what I'm doing, I'll follow you. Next week, I might follow you back. If you post something I like, I'll follow you again. I can follow you up to 20 times. So it's like, it's what I feel like. No, that's the ownership because
No, honestly, I do the same thing too.
yeah, it's like if the key thing is I look at social media as a way of me sharing ideas and also promoting my friends. Like I don't have any business I'm doing right now, anything, but I see that as a means. Like, okay, I have a couple of business, I have a couple of friends that are entrepreneurs, like you, Shay, and stuff. I'm like, I owe it to myself, if I do really value our friendship, to advertise you guys on my platform, even if I don't have any followers, even if it's 2 followers I have, it might be something that will be able to at least impact you guys in one way or the other. And that's the way I see it. It's not a means of me showing what I have and stuff like that. It works for some people. For me, that's not the way it is. Like I can show up as much as I want, but what impact is it making on people's lives? And that's one thing I don't take for granted. Value. What value am I impacting in people's life? Am I making their life more miserable? Am I making their life better? And that's what I like to do. I can come to that. One of my friends sent me a post sometime like, Tunde, I beg me comment. I said there's no point of me commenting. It's like, why? I'm like, most Nigerians lack common sense. So if I start arguing on the platform, I'll be honest. No, just being honest. No. I'm like, of what use is it if I start arguing with people on comment section, arguing about something that they will not agree with, when I know the point is not for me to be right or for them to be wrong. It's for us to share ideas. But most Nigerians, first thing they do is to insult and stuff. So I'd rather just read comments and crack myself up, laugh at their stupidity, than to involve myself when I know people are just blocked. Their ears are blocked. So there's no point of that. So the moment I realized about social media, I just go there to vibe. I eat popcorn, eat rice and stew, and laugh on social media. That's what I do. And share what I feel is important for myself and people that follow me or people that are around. Like if it's not going to make any impact, I'm not posting it. That if it's going to make me laugh, make you laugh, I'll post it. But if there's anything that I know might make somebody envious or might not make anybody feel better about themselves, I retract it off my profile or I just not post it at all.
Okay, but you know what? Being somebody, for someone like me that is active on social media, Instagram especially, blogs and whatever, Facebook, I find that people respond to, okay, there are 5 things I found that people respond to. They respond, for some reason, people like quotes. So this is based on people like quotes. So that's why on my page you always see, if I don't have anything to post,
Quote is vibe. Quote is vibe all day.
People like quotes. People like something that is funny, right?
Yes,
people like to laugh. So if you
Make their
notice,
life better.
I post, I try and find something funny in the context of what I'm doing. So in the Canadian context, people like information. People like when you give them information. Because for me, it's not just, that's why I said social media is work for me. It's about the engagement. I'm not thinking like an average social media consumer that is just, okay, I want to post fine picture. It's the engagement. So people like information, right? People like to know that there's an event. People like to know that the scholarship is available. And the thing about it is that with platforms like social media, so for me, the reason why my blog is still active and my social media is active is because I have those are 2 different demographics. The mummies, the daddies, the aunties, the uncles, they are the ones that are constantly on my blog. Now, social media is more for our generation. They want it fast, quick, so they want information. So that's like the fastest way to get information, right? And then the last part, which people like the most, is people like it when it's about me, myself. So if you look at people, a lot of times, personally on my own page, the times that I've had the highest engagement is when I post something about myself.
Yep. Yeah. It's normal.
People like it when you sing your praises. So at the same time, we're saying, Instagram is for fake life, social media is for fake life, but people want to consume that stuff. People say, this girl just bought a Kenya, is on social media, and people engage with that more. Now, for someone like me that is planning to, I need to get 10,000 followers. I'm almost there. I know the things that I will post that will get me to that number fast.
Sharp.
The problem is, I know someone like you, AANU She, that be like, that means
This no be you now. You don't believe that KG.
Do you understand what I mean? But people, if you look at when you say, "Oh, I just conquered this, I just did that," people like that stuff. People want to consume it. So, can you really blame anybody for always trying to outdo the other person?
No, no, no. There's nothing wrong in self gratification. Don't get me wrong.
Ah,
But nothing is wrong in that. Now, yes, now if you feel like promoting yourself in a certain way will make you sell your market, why not do it? But then again, it now boils down to values. Yeah, for you, it might not be your way of selling your market. You might have a different value of what you promote on your platform, which is fine. Why some people they'll do whatever they have to do to sell their market, and those are two different things. And that's why oftentimes a lot of people on social media have these big followers, and that's what they do. They do whatever they have to do to sell their market and get that followership. But that's what sells market on, whether we like it or not, on social media. And oftentimes I get it mixed up oftentimes because I see some people they'll post some certain things. E.g., there was a time Tunde Head Nuts insulted Ronke, for example. And you don't get it wrong, Ronke is my friend's wife. That hit me, so I was so pissed. Actually,
I think all of us were pissed because
and
it's
that
like Nigeria
one,
today.
yeah. So that one got me really hard. I'm like, straight up, I went to unfollow him. I put it on myself. I put it away. An enemy of my friend is my enemy. That's my enemy. So at the moment I saw that thing, straight up, I was so angry. I unfollowed him. I went to his own profile. I insulted him, and I went to Nigeria Food is this, and I insulted him also. And I was like, man, and I started when I'm like, okay, after you did your thing, what did he add to your life? I'm like, and at that moment, there was one relief that it gave me. And I'm like, yes, that's what you're hearing today, not. But after a while, I'm like, there's no point actually. Just oftentimes I don't really need to engage anything, all this kind of stuff. E.g., unfollowing me is good. I don't need to insult him on his page or anything. It's his platform. He can choose to do whatever he wants to do on his platform, and I have to respect that. So that's just the thing. Social media, the moment you allow it consume you, then that's where there's issue. Anything you can't control is God over you. So that's the way I see life. In any way, it can be social media, it can be food, it can be anything, it can be relationship. If you can't control it, it's God over you. So that's the way I see life. If I'm on Instagram, I always have a feeling that I can spend 10 hours, even 24 hours on Instagram. I will just be scrolling. I derive joy actually scrolling. I'm not even joking.
It's just like the damn. I don't know if you watched that survey, the documentary they did on Netflix.
Yeah, social media.
Social media, yeah.
I personally felt like it was just the truth. I know that people will say that even that's the group they actually on Instagram, but at the end of the day, it's I think just something that Tommy said, and said that I think people like when they can relate, and the truth is that a lot of people. Okay. So this is a question, but just to finish what I was saying, I think that it's important to make sure that we kind of settle into why we're in these things and what's the goal at the end of the day, right? So someone is saying, what are the practical steps we can take to overcome envy while looking at other people's pages? Is it more about us than what is being posted? So I'll start from Tunde, then I go to Dami.
Oh man, this one is interesting. I was actually reading a book a couple of days ago, and the book was like, okay, what defines you, or what makes you you? And oftentimes we get attached with things. So you'll be like, okay, I derive happiness through this job I have, through this car, through this money, through this stuff. And if that thing goes, then what next? So that gave me a wake up call. It's not like I get attached to anything, like not really. But oftentimes I like to be at peace with myself. It's like, maybe there's this shoe that is on right now, and I like that shoe. I want to be able to get it. And if I'm not able to get it at that certain time, sometimes I get depressed or I get down. But if I see somebody else wearing it, it's not like I'll be envious. I'm like, damn, I'll praise you, I'll holler you, but like that'll be a motivating factor for me to actually get it. And I'm not like, okay, what if that shoe comes now, then what next? You get what I mean, right? Then that gave me a reason to see value beyond things. So like, yeah, because it's like, at the end of the day, there's a God factor that I always boiled everything down to. That's the thing. If my existence in life is tied down to anything, then there's a problem somewhere. Yeah. My existence to life is tied down to value. It's tied down to who I am. And anything outside of that is not me. So if anybody has something that doesn't belong to me, I'm not going to be envious of it because I know mine is coming. Yeah, if I apply for a job 10 times, I don't get it. My friend gets that same job. I'll be happy for him. That job is not meant to be mine. something that is meant to be me will stay, will not leave me. So anybody, if I see like this, if I celebrate successful people, when my time comes, people will celebrate me. And that's the way I see it. So it's like the God factor is one thing I always look up to. I'm never ever envious of anybody, regardless of what you have. Even if I don't have anything, God always find a way to bail me out. And that's the reason why I always put that factor in. It's like, no, anything I have, even if it's $5 or $10 in my account, I will treat that $5 like it's 1 million. You get what I mean? I'll cook myself one better spaghetti with a couple of hot dogs and maybe one bacon on the side to make it like it's 20 and enjoy it. Yeah, because if I look back, I'm like, there are some people that can't actually afford to have a bed or even have lights or have anything. So the things I'm envious of someone about is not something I can control. But oftentimes, a lot of people are dying of the mere minimum that I'm not appreciating and thinking if they wish they can have that. We can always wish to be better. But oftentimes, we don't want to go through the process. We just want to look at the destination. Okay, Oshop is driving a Bugatti. I'm jealous, so I want to have a Bugatti. Do you know how we got it? Do you know the process it took? How about you can also be patient. Write down your goals. Write down value. Write down things you want. And gradually, you get it. You might not get a Bugatti, but you might get close and get a Peugeot or 504. But that's a car. Better than bicycle. You get what I mean, right? So, yeah, that's just me. And it's more about us than what is being posted. Well, with posts, I always tell people, my friend was cracking a joke a couple of months ago, like, Tunde, why don't you post anything on your page? I'm like, why should I post? Okay, what is the point of me posting? If the point of me posting does not glorify the essence of who I am, then what's the point? I'm not posting because I want people to see that, okay, Tunde is driving a brand new car or doing this or this. No, that's no point. Because if I'm posting it, whether I will like it or not, people it's gonna get to some people. Some people are just naturally miserable. Whether you post or not, they'll be pissed at you. No, I know why no, it's life. That's the occurrence of life. But the way I live my life is if I'm putting something that is not glorifying God, I'm not gonna post it. So what impact is it going to make? If it's going to make somebody else jealous and make somebody miserable, I will not post it. Once they want to post once in a while and stuff like that, just to make the page look busy. But if not, I'll just stay. I'll stay a while and be looking at other people's posts. Appreciate them. If you post your Bugatti, I'll be happy for you because I know my own self will come. So that's the way I see it. To envy out of the way, man. It's easier said than done, and that's why I keep myself in check. Anytime I'm seeing I'm sliding off, I take a break from IG. It can be 1 day break. I'll just fast, carry my Bible, put myself back in check, or read a motivational book. Or go on YouTube, go on documentary, watch documentaries that'll see how visionaries, people that have made it beyond just social media, how they've done it. And those are things I do to help me actually.
You know what? For me, I would say that, initially, envy was never a problem for me. Envy was like I think, like you rightly said, I've always been contented with wherever I found myself on that, knowing where God is taking me to. So just always looking at always having the destination in mind, right? If I tell you where I'm going to, you guys will think I'm crazy, right? So knowing that, I just made sure that I was never envious of anybody because my own path, my own destiny is different. So what I'm going through right now, the things that seem to be missing, the things that are empty, it's part of the process to my destination, right? So, but I discovered recently that
These comments are killing me. Sorry, continue.
I discovered recently that envy started to creep in, and I don't know the reason why. Maybe it's because I let my guard down, and I'm always on social media. I think I've shared this story with a couple of people here before, but I'll say this again. In high school, a couple of friends that I have, that we're close to, we said, when I'm leaving high school, your wedding, I will be your chief bridesmaid, and this friend was getting married. And first of all, I mean, Tunde, you know me, like marriage is the last thing on my mind right now.
I know, man.
Like, do you understand why? So this is like the least thing I will be envious of. But when she said she was getting married, and all of a sudden it just dawned on me that everyone is leaving you behind, right? And I started to feel a type of way, like, and then I found myself saying certain things like, don't worry, I've asked God for forgiveness. That's why I can talk about it, and I will tell you what I did to get to this point. I found myself saying, well, it's not about how early you marry. you know. So meaning that in my mind, I'm saying that because she married earlier than I did, her marriage might not. Do you understand what I mean?
I get that. Right.
And that's when I knew that okay, I need to check this. This is a problem, right? And because there are certain temptations that we feel like we cannot like. There are certain temptations that I know that
It's precious. That will always keep this. Continue. That means comments are killing.
please keep the comments so that today will be. There's certain things that I feel like okay, the devil cannot tempt me with because like those are example alcohol. Like alcohol can never be my problem because it's not just something I'm interested in. Do you understand? At least so far. So envy was one of those things that I saw as that. So I didn't know what to do because it felt like and the first thing I did was I have some accountability partners. IT is one of them.
Nice.
That I said, okay, I'm feeling this way. Like I've never felt this way about like me. Usually when I'm on Instagram, okay, I'm just looking at there should be color. The lace is fine. Like why do I feel this particular way about this person that was my friend? Actually it wasn't IT I spoke to then. It was somebody else, and we were able to pray about it. But by me even opening up to someone that I felt comfortable with to be accountable and say, okay, this thought is wrong. Like, how can I deal with it? That she was able to help me through the process. Now, it didn't just end there. Later on, this person came and said, "Oh, I'm pregnant." And I'm thinking about it. And so it was just kind of like, wow, this girl is really gapping you, like, And again, I went and I spoke to somebody about it, and I said, okay, I'm feeling this way. I know this is not the right way to do, and I needed to deal with it and go to God about it. I said, okay, God, am I envious? Because I mean, this is somebody that I genuinely love. She's, one of the people that I consider my best friend, but because I felt like maybe it's because of how close we are. I felt more inadequate because it's like you don't even know where you don't even have boy. You don't even have the boyfriend is not even there. So do you know how I mean? So it's just like,
it's only the friends you have.
I don't even, like so yeah. So part of the thing is just even being honest with yourself. I think that a lot of times we are so hard on ourselves that we beat ourselves for it, but sometimes even being accountable to somebody and saying, okay, this is how I'm feeling, how do I deal with it, help me process it. And one of the things that somebody actually told me, and which helped, was they said, you're losing sight of where God is taking you to. From what you told us, this is where God is taking you to. We need you to get a visual representation of where God is taking you to. So I got a signpost. It's yet to arrive. Like I got a signpost of, where God is taking, so I can be looking at it. So you don't get distracted, because these things that you're saying that, hey, God, hey, this person that was my junior by like 4 years, this person that is VP of XYZ, this person is, and it's just knowing, when you understand where God is taking you to, there won't be any need to look at anybody else. Because what happens is that when we are competing with other people, we are running their race.
Word nugget right there, man.
So there's this example that one of my pastors actually says is like, okay, it's like you're going, let's say me and you are we're jogging, and I see you on the road. Tunde is jogging. I want to gap Tunde. And Tunde is just, jogging on his own. You live on Avenue Y, and I live on Avenue X. But because I am focused on passing Tunde, I follow you to Avenue Y. I probably pass the turning to Avenue X. And even if I run past you, I have missed my own turning. I have missed my own destination because I'm focused on. So why don't you just focus on what God is telling you to do? And so when I hear people like that sort of like my accountability partners that have expressed, I've told them, okay, this is what God is saying, this is where God is leading me to, and they can remind me that don't get distracted, this is not you, this is of the devil, and help me through that process. So again, envy will come, envy will come. Like where some people, it's different for different people. I you know, thank God that it's not all envy that would look like Nigerian movie envy. That
Gang, 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 gonna put poison in your rice and you die.
are you
Really cool.
no, not all envy, but if you are, as I said, my own thought was she married early. It's not about how early you marry, it's about how well. So am I now saying that because she married early, I won't marry you? Not. Do you understand what I mean? Or some people marry early, they might not have children until, like, do you understand what I mean? So those are the things that is envy, because once you are thinking about something negative about the next person, that is
Word,
envy.
word, word, word. Wow,
You know?
that was really good.
So
Like,
yeah, so I would say there's not, and it's a culture that we need to really, really encourage in the Christian community is accountability. We like to act we like to act righteous too much. One of the reasons, and I've told you guys here before, those of you that are here know, like, I always talk about my besties. Like, if you hear the things that we talk about, Tunde is one of them. If you hear the things that we talk about, you guys might question our salvation, you know, because we're honest with ourselves. Okay, these are the struggles that we're going through. I told you about a relationship that I was going to enter, and I just mentioned it to Tunde and Afolabi. They just laughed one laugh like this. I just knew that. Damn
Damn
it.
it, don't make us look like our blockers, though. Before boys say, wait, today,
No, no,
shut
no.
up.
But the thing about it
I
is
know, I
that
get what you mean, though.
if I did not open my mouth, if I didn't feel like I needed to be accountable to you guys with that kind of
One
information, then
chance, one chance.
it would have been one chance, you know.
Yeah.
So again, part of it is finding, accountability being important in whatever area, you envy, whatever. Like, let's have that culture of accountability, of knowing that I have somebody that I will talk to, and it wouldn't be, you know, taken in. I won't be made to feel like a sinner. Anyways, I know, what's your own answer?
For me, how do I deal with things like that? Personally, I feel like I always ask myself, why, who, and when? Why was I sent? Who am
Word.
I sent to? And when, if I can see the destination, if I know that this is God that has sent me to do this thing, yes, to be very sincere, those days I always feel that way. Especially like you come from Nigeria, you're called to bar, your friends are already doing stuff. They're already like on the group class WhatsApp
Oh,
page.
I hate that group, man.
I left after 1 week. I don't wait, don't fake by me.
So personally, I actually enjoy it. I enjoy that my classmates are actually giving back to babies. Like someone, like one of my classmates from law school just became magistrate. Like, and I asked myself, what's the line? What's my destination? If I was in Nigeria, probably I'll be doing my own thing too, and everybody will be jamming in court or jamming whatever place it is. But I'm not there. I asked myself, okay, so when I landed, when I went back, when I came back, I asked myself these questions just to let myself know that you're not where you used to be.
Word.
You cannot be stuck on where you are, but this person is not doing better because you can see their accomplishments. You to sit down and find out what are the things that you've achieved, what are the things you have done. Because a lot of times, to be very sincere, it's not even just running past the person's junction. Sometimes you forget what God has done for you that you're so concerned. And that's why I think for me, how I cope, if I want to answer that question, is worship songs. So there are some songs that there's this song by what's her name? Blessing Ali. The first words is when I remember your goodness consistently towards me. How can I repay you? Appreciate for all. See that the once those first lines comes to my head, I snap out of it because I know that I can't by my own 2 cents do a lot of things that I have done or achieve a lot of things that I've achieved. You understand? And when I sit down and I look at it, I'm like, you know what? It's not that bad. Like
Go bad,
Some people,
bro.
and I shared this thing one day. I think the day I had my convocation from U of A, and I was like, I'm not going to do anything. I'm not going to post anything. What's there? Is it not just, I beg. And they were reading the roll call, and they mentioned the guy's name, and they said deceased. I entered the bathroom. I had my bath. I wore fine clothes. I did makeup. I said, God, I am alive. Like, wait, me, I'm alive and I'm able to get the certificates. Snap out of it. So, yes, sometimes it might not be as fast as how I'm saying it because it's sometimes you just look at yourself and like, almost this person, see damage, she's almost in 10K. I'm even struggling to enter
Hmm.
5,000.
Hmm.
And I ask myself, the value of the 99 and the value of the one. Do you understand? I ask myself, if I get to a point where I'm more concerned about having that make and to be very sincere, sweet. I just like,
I
hi
would not lie
Tunde.
to you.
I have like 20 million
Now serious
subscribers on
sugar.
YouTube. You understand? It's sweet to say, but a
Hmm.
lot of times we forget that okay, Friday night gist, Dami, why did we start? So that the day that I want to mess up, Dami can say, I know the reason why we started this was not because there was no Dami Adeni live or there was no Life Matters or another day. It was because we saw a vacuum in the media and we said, let us do better and let us inform people better. Let's have an avenue where people can come, discuss, gist, talk, and express their hearts. Now, that is already visual and mission statement. So the day Dami is like, I know I'm not interested. I will sit down and pull and say, this girl that is looking at you. She will ask questions that Auntie Dami. When I used before I started my own show, Jojo and Friends, I used to watch you and mommy and do you get just because at the end of the day, guys, we have to come to a place of thanking God for those little things. So
Gratitude, man.
that is how I deal with it. I know that it's a struggle sometimes, but I go back, I count my blessings, and and let me tell you one thing that works for me. I rant with God. So I go sit down, whatever comfort zone it is, I sit down. God, if it's in the dark in the toilet, doing number one or two, I'm telling God that God, this is how I'm feeling. This is how I've been struggling with this. I think we always overdo it with God. That God, uh, mm-mm. See, that was why God loved David because he they scatter ground in front of his papa. He knows that
Mm-hmm.
with this guy, I can't do anything, right? So I think we should just get to that place of, like Dami said, accountability partners are very important.
You,
A lot of our classmates, which is like our generation, we don't like having accountability partners, and that's why one brother will be having three sisters in three services. Do
When
you
am I gonna keep on secret? And I know you're not
you,
mind.
you get so for me, I feel okay. So Adesomi said we can also turn envy to inspiration. If I see someone doing great, instead of developing bad belly, celebrate the person.
Word.
God
So
bless
me,
you.
God bless you for that,
Like
but
Sunday.
you
That
know
was a
what?
good one.
I
if God,
don't think. I think that envy is negative. So if something is giving you inspiration, it's
It's
not
not.
envy.
It's not envy. It's not
It's
no,
envy.
not
Thank you.
envy.
what I want, no, and that was why he quoted it,
You
right?
coded it. That was
Okay.
a good one. That was a good one, Sammy.
Because at the end of the day, see, it's not a fruit of the spirit. Do you understand? It is not a fruit of
Mhm.
the spirit. Oh my god.
Joe,
You know what? Let me even give you now that I even saw she is. Let me give another instance that I felt a bit envious. There are
Please
to
say
me and
superstar baker. Be very, very conscious on what things you say. Please,
sorry,
please.
I didn't hear what you said.
Superstar baker. Sheyi
Superstar Baker.
Farinu.
Well,
Thank
Schaefer
you.
is one of the things that, and I remember sharing it with Shay was that I watched. I've been a fan of Lawrence Oyo like more than Darasimi and Mike Bambury. So yeah. So I was so excited when he was getting married. But as I was watching the wedding and everything, I was just like, God, do these people have two heads? Like, how is their own always divine, divine, divine? Someone will just sleep, wake up. Oh, just like, how is this thing happening? And to me, I can't remember what I was even saying, and she was like, okay, but that's not your own story.
Hmm.
Mhm.
That is not how God is. We bless God because we know that yes, the kingdom of hell, okay, yeah, oh, this family on fire, this, but that's not, and it doesn't stop the fact that the way your own story will be told would be would your own family would be for God as well, right? Your union will be to chase the 10,000 as well. It doesn't take away from that. So again, that's why I said that I want us to, because I feel like with envy and jealousy and
The
you know
the the thing about that helps me personally in a way is I see life as a story. You can either get your book and write your story
Mhm.
and take somebody else's book as your own story. And I made a very, very conscious effort to be the storyteller of my own life. So if I see somebody doing exceptionally well at what I want to do, I will use that as a motivating factor for my own story.
Mm.
Because oftentimes, whether we like it or not, there are different races in life. There's relay, there's 100 meter, there's 200 meter. At the end of the day, we are all going to get to that destination point.
Mhm.
How? We don't know. When? We don't know, but we can plan.
Mm.
Mm.
You might get there faster than I am. 100 meter race, perfect. It might take me 300 meters to get there. At the end of the day, we will all get there. And that's one thing I've always hold dear to myself. There's a verse in the Bible I don't joke with. When God says, I know the plans I have for you, they are of good and not evil. And they'll give you a bright future. That verse is totally there for me. That verse always gives me assurance that, I will be all right. If
Mhm.
my party they do all right, if my G is doing good, I will celebrate him like it's mine because I know what mine is coming.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the moment, oftentimes, don't get me wrong, I get carried away tiny bit. But one conscious effort I always do is when I snap, I control it. Because the moment you can't control that snap, meaning there's a problem.
Mm.
Yeah. So
So
huh?
yeah, yeah, sorry, sorry.
Yeah, any feelings I can't control, then I know there's a problem. So I have to go on my knees and go and talk to Baba God. I beg, get me out. I take a conscious effort to always control every single feeling I have in me, envious, jealousy, anything, because we all have it. We all have the tendency to have those feelings, but you have to know when to snap out of it, and that's the conscious effort God has given me, and that's one thing. There's a book I started reading. One of my friends, she called me one day and she was like, "Oh, Tunde, how are you doing?" She was just checking up, but this guy's been called. She has called me at least 10, 20 times. I won't lie. I've not picked one. One day I just woke up. I'm like, I won't call her name. She's like, this girl called me last week. Let me just call her back. And I called her back and we're just discussing. And I was just ranting to get I bet no verse. No, life, man, based on one or two, three verse, four provoke, then 10 just listen. And she's like, Tunde, I understand though. But oftentimes we give that excuse. I always tell people that you can never be too busy to reach out to someone you actually care about.
Mhm.
You make time if something is dear to you, you make time to actually reach out to the person. And she was like, Tunde, please don't beat yourself. And she was just encouraging me. And it just touched me. I'm like, this girl I've never spoken to that. I've ignored your call for like 20 years. And she just recommended a book to me. And I started reading that book. The book is called Magic. And the book is just about gratitude. And the book, one devotion I was reading one time, the book was like, just name 10 things. Make a list of 10 things you're grateful about. It can be anything. It can even be he said, if you're even not grateful about anything, be grateful for anybody else. Because
Mm.
oftentimes we get carried away by the things we want and forget the things we actually have that we're not appreciative for. And that's one thing I've hold dear. I'm like, COVID-19, people have been dying. I've not had COVID. I'm still alive. The fact that I'm alive means there's a better opportunity for me to be a better person than I am yesterday. And that alone is enough reason for me to be happy and not be envious of anybody. Because we all have a story that we're going to tell someday. And whether you let somebody produce or write it for you is your business. And that's the way I see it.
And there's something that I remember years ago. Someone said that if God blesses your neighbor, it means God is in your neighborhood, right? So
Oh, word.
if you're so jealous and carried away by, oh, my neighbor, God gave my neighbor by better pass, what will happen to me? I don't know that your own, what the that's a big generator that they used to have in Nigeria.
Mikano.
Yeah, your mechano is, but because of jealousy, you downgraded yourself to 18. And that's what saying, God, if it's just this I better pass, just give it unto me. And God is actually building mechano for you. So look at these things like crops, right? There are annual crops, there are biennial crops, there are perennial crops. Annual crops, it take in 3 months, everything within 1 year. But remember that within that 1 year, the entire thing goes again. Biennial, within 2 and 5 years, you see everything will start blooming. But perennial crops, you don't see them probably in the first 5, 10 years, oh, but the way that they will just boom out. So what it means is that sometimes God is working on you and working through you, and you have to open the eyes of your spirit to understand what He's doing underneath, so that you don't get carried away by all the things you see everywhere and feel that God is not working with you. At the end of the day, His plans for us, like we've said, are of good and not of evil, to give us a future and a hope. There's a reason why He put that scripture in the Bible, right? And that's why there are 360, is this 65 or 66 fear not in the Bible? I know there are days where fear will come, and I know that the Holy Spirit
That's
is
life.
right there to always help us through the way, to be very sincere with you. All of us that are talking here, we've had our shares of ups and downs. And that's why
We're still fighting
Me,
it now.
me,
See now,
me,
sir.
me, right now, as we were saying, rants with God. Me, I'm fighting with God here. I know He's not fighting with me because He loves me unconditionally, but me, I'm fighting with God.
so at the
I'm
end of the day, we have to come down to the point where we are truthful. Yes, so that we're truthful as human beings. We're truthful by telling God that this is how I feel about this. This is how I've seen this work. Some people even feel like, oh, you know what? I've actually even got I have more than this other person. Instead, be thanking God for what you have. It doesn't
Mhm.
matter who you are, where you're from, how many followers or subscribers or whatever you have. At the end of the day, it boils down to at last
Hmm.
you're alive, you're well, you're healthy, you're earthy, you're not crying over your family members. God has been good to you, even if you don't even remember anything. Even that you should do this thing, there's a thing that I think I have to do it maybe next year or something. I used to do years ago. I always write what I'm grateful for every day, so that I
Oh man.
remember, right? And I just take time to actually reflect on the entire day. Okay, even though I plan, and this is one thing I want to share before we even round up. Um, Someone like me and Dami, we work on plans. Right. Okay. So on Monday, I'm supposed to do this plan. On Tuesday, I'm supposed to do this because you already have the plan and everything going on for you. But there are days where that plan you just write it. You get you literally just write it and nothing happens because either your body gets in the way and all that happens. And maybe because of motherhood, it just makes me just sit down sometimes and just thank God that I even have work. Like this is a whole it's a whole vibe in herself. And when I'm about to say, God, see how time is wasting, see I've not been able to do anything. I said, God, I'm grateful that I have this bundle of joy. I'm like,
Hmm.
yeah, it will look like, oh my God, I have deadlines, I have this. And yes, we're not saying you should not plan, but don't commit that plan into God's hand. Do you understand?
Mm.
Word.
Don't
Word.
get carried away by, oh, I have everything figured out. My sister, you just fall into your hand. So yeah.
And
Um
I just want to round up with this is that one of the things that I'm learning is that, and it's hard. That's what I said I'm learning is that to appreciate where you are. There's one of my friend that is always telling me, she always tells me this. I think I saw her, online, online, Pamela. She's like, where you are, the season that you're in, where you are at the point today, what does God want you to learn?
Hmm.
So one of the ways that I've started to study the Bible is, you know, before, I mean, we ask the Holy Spirit for help and all that. But I would just read the Bible. But every time now, I'm intentional with looking at God, where God is in all of that. So I don't know how to explain. Like, I'll look at, okay, where is God in this? You know how sometimes when we read the story of who's mine now, David, oh, he defeated Goliath. Like, where is the God in that whole story? Like, do you understand what I mean?
Hmm.
And since I started doing that, it's started to change. That's how we should also look at ourselves, is that if we truly are children of God, and he's the one that directs, the verse that Tunde quoted earlier on, he's the one that orchestrates our steps and everything, then we should be able to see him in everything that we're doing. So the fact that I don't have a job right now, for example,
Mm-hmm.
let's say, I'm jobless. What is it that God wants me to learn in this? The
Mm-hmm.
fact that, I'm single, what does God want me to learn in this? The fact that business is not working out for me. What do you understand what I think that would help. As I said, me, I'm always careful when I give all these things because as you're looking at me, I just told you that me and God were in that ranting place. If not because I know He's a merciful God, but I'm really throwing my own tantrums with Him. But yeah,
And
just
sorry, them. Yeah, you can
yeah. So that's just what all I want to say is that in everything, look for God in it. Like
Mm.
good, bad, look for God in it.
Word.
and at the end of the day, I just wanted to just why I was trying not to forget what you were saying now, which was about David. Yeah, know who you carry.
Mm. Word.
David, David was not concerned about the height of Goliath. All he came to do was give his brothers food, right? But he was not concerned about the size or whatever it is. He said, "You come, you defile the God of Israel, but I've come to you." He knew what he carried, and a lot of us, and I feel like our generation, we need to go back to the word and know the scripture for ourselves. Yes, you might not feel like sometimes to pray to do this, and you will give all the 1,000 reasons why you didn't pray, you didn't this, you didn't that. But I think this month November, just a lot had been happening, and for me, the end of November just made me think about it. That God, I feel like we forget what we carry and who you
Mm.
are to us, that we are so consumed by everything that's going on in the world, and we forget to go back to your word. Is a lamp unto our feet. That means it covers the immediate area, and a light unto our path, and it covers the
The whole path.
the whole path. What I've not seen. If there's a beer, there's a light already. So when people say there's light at the end of the tunnel, no, the truth is that God's light is shining through
All
our
true.
paths, through our lives
All true.
already.
To listen now.
You just have to open your eyes to understand the revelational knowledge of who God is. So
Word.
before you start seeing that brother that's doing better than you, that sister that is doing
Mm.
whatever, that auntie that's carrying, let me tell you, who do you carry? If his word doesn't fail, he says he's not a man that he will lie, right? So if his word doesn't fail, tell them. If his word doesn't fail, then you just know that he will come through. And if you don't take anything since 8 o'clock till 9:30 as a wrap up, it is God never
Yeah,
fails.
I
Once
lie.
he says it, he does it
He does it.
and he performs it. So I don't know who is out there that's discouraged, that's weighed down, and all of us sometimes we want to give up now. But sit down, look back at what God has done, look at who you carry, and understand that I come before you in the name of the God of Israel. And that was what won that battle. Everybody had helmets, sword, this, that. They couldn't kill Goliath. He had a sling and 5 smooth stones. How can you tell me, people that did science, how can you tell me how smooth stone enters into someone's for like give me the biological
Said
you
biology.
get give me the
As is
biological
physics.
photosynthesis you get. But at the end of the day, because the person before him was greater than Goliath, all those things didn't matter. So tonight we leave you with the fact that God cannot lie, God
Yep.
never fails. Once
All
it
day.
does it. Thank you very much, Mr. Tunde.
A special
Man.
thank you to our guest Tunde Olumide. Tunde, do you want to let the people know if they can catch you anywhere, if there's anything that you're up to? I have been begging Tunde, you guys. I've been begging Tunde to take. Tunde is funny. He's a comedian. He gave me anxiety a couple of times because I don't know what will come out of his mouth. But but I think that he's one of those people that I think that he should really, if he does something related to comedy everybody here knows Tunde is a great person. I think that most people even showed up here because of Tunde. So please, Tunde, what are you up to? What? No, because you have fans. Everybody, you should have seen Instagram. Everybody was shouting, "My president, my
Oh,
president."
president, man. I'm honestly, I'm in a place in my life right now. I'm just at peace. Like
So
that's it. Like yeah, at peace in the sense that I'm just.
Connect with you.
Pardon.
What are you working on?
I'm working on right now. I'm planning not to work again. I'm planning to have my own business kind of thing as a real estate investor and other ventures and other things I'm venturing into. And that's part of the things I'm saying. Like right now, I'm going as the wind flows. I'm just going by the grace of God. And I have my own plans, which is real estate investment and other things. So it's just something that I'm praying to God about to just enlighten and continue to open my mind of understanding to see things beyond my own sight. So that's just it. Oh, yeah. If you know anywhere that can make money, I invest. Let me know. Money plenty. Oh, won't make money. Oh, go there all right. Or $10 to find money.
No, you are banned from this show.
I love you, Shay. So, Sami, thank you. But overall, thank you guys, man, for coming. Oh, this has been great. That means you don't know how much impact you've impacted my life. And same with you, Anu. Anytime you guys are on your talk show, even when I'm somewhere, even if it's 10 minutes, I can click and hide and go and check. I check. You guys are really, really doing a good job. I must say that. So I really appreciate you guys for having me here. Nobody only pass. I'm not holy. Sometimes I get envious. I get jealous. So now God in control of us. So don't get it wrong. But at the end of the day, don't lose focus on where you're going. So that's the key thing. So we'll be all right. At the end of the day, we are all going to be all right. We'll make it. So when we don't know, just be patient. I love you guys, man. Thank you so much for having me.
So wait, before we leave, please, you guys, we are humble here. Please, if you are not following us on social media, please follow us. Please, Dami is about to get to 10,000 followers on Instagram.
We must
Please,
go.
I need that. I need that swipe up. I need it. You guys know how much I need it. So please,
If I unfollow you and follow you again, will they add it? How do you know? Hey, anything we gotta do to support the sister, we'll do it.
so please follow us on our YouTube channel. I know has a YouTube channel as well. I think Anu is about to click 300 subscribers.
Ooh, congrats, Anu. Damn.
Oh, come and support you again.
Girl.
3 times every week. So.
We're everywhere, so you can check out the link everywhere, Instagram, Facebook, we're everywhere. Yeah, so thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you tomorrow. What should we talk about? Sorry, next week. What should we talk about next week, so that I can work on it right now?
Shay, you make me cry. Shay, love you.
God bless y'all. Send us
Sorry,
a topic
one
you
love,
want to
man.
talk about next week. Till we see you, God bless you. God keep you. God be with you in Jesus' name.
Amen.
Bye.
Shout out.